Hey everybody, this is Scott Sharp with Fretboard Toolbox, and today I'm going to show you a somewhat controversial idea of a caged system for the mandolin. And that's if you can play the chords C, A, G, E, and D, and some of them are a little bit different positions, but if you can play these 5 positions that I'm showing you, then you can see how the chords relate all the way up the fretboard. So let's take a look and I'll show you how it works. Today we're going to be using a Fretboard Toolbox Essential Mandolin 2nd edition book, and we're going to have to agree upon some weird shapes, a few weird shapes for the chords to make this caged system work. Caged is a guitar system that if you can play the chords C, A, G, E, and D in that order up the guitar fretboard, then you can see where all the chords link together. And it's the same idea on the mandolin, but we just have to take a little bit of creative license here. So let's look at those chords in the order of C, A, G, E, and D. And I'm going to be playing a C chord. C's are majors are made of the notes C, E, and G. So I'm going to be playing, breaking a rule right off the bat, and I'm going to play just C, E, C. Okay, but this is a pretty typical C major shape, so it's not super controversial. But there's no G, so it's just it's what's called the 1 and the 3 note without the 5. But that'll be important shape for later. So that's the C shape. The A shape is going to be the standard A, C sharp, and E notes. Okay, so that's the A shape we're going to need to know. The G shape is going to be the standard G. G majors are made of the notes G, B, and D. This is going to be the kind of bluegrassy. Whoops. Let's take a pause for a little tuning break. Okay, let's hope that's better here. We were on the G chord and we wanted to play this kind of bluegrassy shape here. So 7, 5, 2, 3. Okay, so that's our G chord. And then the E chord is going to be a little bit different. E, G sharp, and B is what E majors are made of. But we're going to be playing B, E, B. So we're playing the 1 and 5. It's called a 5 chord or a power chord. And I'm not playing this E string here. So I'm just playing the G, D, A strings. If you want to add this G sharp on, you can round out the chord. That'll work with our system too. So it just depends on what shape you want. But E, we're going to count like this. And I know this is a real E shape because I took some lessons with Don Julin and he taught me this shape. And he said it's so cool because you can use it for a major or minor chord, since the only difference between major and minors are the 3 or flat 3 notes. So anyways, that's the E major shape I'm using. And then the D shape I'm using is going to be A, F sharp, D. D majors are made of the notes D, F sharp, and A. So if I just play these 3 strings, and then again I can add on this F sharp if I want. But I'm just thinking, when I'm playing it and messing around, I'm just thinking of these 3 notes. But that's my D shape. So now that we've taken a look at those shapes, let's look at the key of C, and I'll show you how these all link up, which is really cool. Okay, so here's my C shape. Okay, so here's C major, the 1 and 3 notes of C major. So there's C, E, C. Now if I go to the A shape up here, on 5, 5, 7, 8, that's C major too. Okay, then if I go to that big bluegrassy shape here on 12, 10, 8, and 7, 8, like this, and notice that these notes here, the E and C right here, are held in common on both of those shapes, the A shape and the G shape. So that's cool stuff. Okay, and then this is the E shape I'm using, and remember you can add this one on if you want. And notice that that shape is part of this big bluegrass shape here. So I could add that E if I want up here, but it kind of gets shrill for me. Okay, and then the last shape, G, E, C, this is our D shape right here, and the D shape uses part of the E shape, like this. So that's G, E, C, and then these two notes here, the E and C right here, are part of the C major shape. And that's too much for me, but it works, it's up there. So that's the C major chords all up and down using the C shape, the A shape, the G shape, the E, the D, and then back to the C. So let's look at a few more chords like that. Let's look at the key of G. Okay, G, B, D is what the notes are made of. So if I start here, and the cool thing about thinking about these shapes is now maybe you can think about this two-fingered shape that you've been using as G. Think of that as really part of the A shape. Okay, so the A shape, here was A major, and if I just slide that down, now my finger here is like the nut. When I play the A shape up here, this finger becomes like the nut. Okay, so this A shape is kind of really a G shape, but just using my finger as the nut. So that's kind of cool. So here's the A shape, and if you go C, A, G, E, D, here's A shape. So G would be next. G, next is E, next is D, next is C, next is A, and then G. I can't reach it, but that's the CAGED system going up on the G chords. Let's look at the CAGED system on the A chords here, A, C sharp, and E. Okay, so I've got the A shape here. Okay, then it goes C, A, G, E, D. So A, here's G, here's E, or, okay, now I'm up here. And then I go to D, and I can add this guy too, this C sharp up here. So that's D, and then back to C. You can also think of the C shape like this too, because that's like this C shape that we were using and just adding this note right here. Okay, so that's the CAGED system on the A chords. Let's look at the D chords just for fun. D, F sharp, and A. So I'm going to start with, now if I look at this shape, this is what I've been calling the E shape. So, but that's a D major, and then here's a D major with the D shape, and then D major with the C shape, or this one. Okay, and then to the A shape, up here on 7, 7, 9, 10. Then the G shape, E, D, C, and it just keeps going on. So once you kind of see the linking of all those shapes, then it's like, okay, there's not 50 different shapes going all up and down the fretboard. There's really just some major common shapes that you see. And another secret is that I'll do it in a different video, but you can cobble together a minor key CAGED system too, like where here's the A minor shape, and then this one is, no, I can't tell you off the top of my head. I got to play through that system again. So, but anyways, you can just find those patterns, and then it's really cool because instead of the shapes feeling so isolated from each other, they feel like one part of a system. And then the next thing that I'm trying to work on, that I know lots of good pickers do work on, is then seeing those scales in those shapes. And so all these notes in white boxes on the toolboxes are major scales, and all the underlined notes are major pentatonic notes. And then when I can see where those scale shapes fit in with the chords, then the real cool stuff starts to happen. So if you want to take a look at your own Fretboard Toolbox, if you go to the Fretboard Toolbox website and go to pick your instrument, and I got books for a whole bunch of different instruments here, but you click on mandolin if you want. You can read about essential versus complete toolboxes. Today we're using essential, those that have the color. And you can read about my print and ebook options, check out all my videos, and most important, if you click look inside, you can download all the instructions and the key of G major pages all for free. And you can order books here and hopefully find something that you find useful. So I'll be coming back with lots more videos on lots more instruments, and thanks for taking a look.